Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, we reach the unofficial midway point of the season with a good Monday night battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll be corralled right around the 34. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. On first down, it's Watson. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Jedrick Wills, former first-round pick, guilty there. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Following the penalty, Chubb. What a matchup we have here in the AFC North on this All Hallows Eve, otherwise known, of course, as Halloween. Kids probably shuffling home right now from trick-or-treating, all hopped up on sugar and ready to drive their parents crazy as these two old rivals get together here on this final day of October in a game that's been highly anticipated. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
This taken in by Jakeem Grant. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
The Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win. But definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
A first carry for the former Oklahoma Nixon hit, and the ball is out. And I think the Browns got it. They did. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs. First time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd and 7, Watson. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku, and it's 3rd down.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From midfield now, Burrow. That's the tight end, Hurst, with it. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 10 yards there at a Bengal first.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Burrow will throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there.
On 1, ready?
Burrow going for it on 4th. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
They begin this drive with Chubb, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Steps away to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
But these are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick.
Here we go.
If indeed they end up trying one.
Here we go.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to mix him. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Browns drive about to get started. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rep. And now Watson throws another interception. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 for a Bengals TD. But Charles, he was looking for just a short throw, kept it in range for the rare linebacker pick-6.
And give him full credit for his focus. He just kept the quarterback in his sights, and where he was looking to throw, he positioned himself perfectly to be there for the interception. He made the play of the game for his defense right there.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Here's Watson. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays we're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The Browns sitting at 5-2 on the year. And they come in on a good run. Winners of 5 of their last 7.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Chubb on the counter. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force. And they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. On 1st and 10, Watson. He'll hit Jackson, complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or a man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give running right is Chubb. And room there to work it inside the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Watson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. The mistakes continuing to pile up, and it looked like they were going to be able to eat into that deficit. Instead, now the deficit is even larger.
Yeah, they were on a march with a chance to get back within a score, but now that deficit continues to grow.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that makes our score 17-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Sitting in 1st place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw is Watson. They set up the screen to Chubb. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Throwing again on second down. Watson buying time to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. It's taken to the 26. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Browns force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. To try again after the sack, Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The lines move there, look like nobody open. Now second down.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other, because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. From the 50, it's Watson. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And my goodness, another interception. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault.
Here we go.
You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. John Johnson with the INT. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
After the interception, here's Watson. This will be caught at about the 6. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space, but big guy.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It's J.O.K. and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack.
A truly all-around great effort against the pass today. First an interception, now getting to the quarterback for the first time in this contest. I think offensively, they just forgot to prepare for him or simply overlooked him in getting ready for this one. Either way, a big mistake, and he's making them pay for it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Here we go. Gotta go.
Play action. It's Burrow. Airing one out for Boyd. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Greg Newsome. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now it's Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And that'll be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Now Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety back all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. A big play that time for Cleveland. 41 yards. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. Back to throw, Watson. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 41-yard line. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And again, it's Chubb. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson, his 2nd sack of the night.
Even the most elusive quarterbacks have those tough days where they can't avoid sacks, and this is one of them. 3rd time he's gone down. He might develop some happy feet now, wanting to escape the pocket and try and gain more yardage with his legs.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
The Browns on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Chubb will get the call running left. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. On 1st down, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And it's caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right.
And he takes this one in for a Browns score. Nick Chubb, his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Browns go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides. So I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle. But that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play. And the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they have to try and move past that pick six because now they're dealing with a fourth-quarter deficit. And they need this drive to end in points. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Even for a guy who many believe has become the standard in the league, Myles Garrett's 2021 was special. 16 sacks set a team record, and we're third in the NFL, and he made first-team All-Pro to the surprise of no one.
Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line.
Oh, no, he lost the football. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. 30. 10. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
Coaches always tell their players someone's got to make a big play, but what they mean is a game-altering play, a game-changing play, a turnover force, and we just got that. I mean, how about that play, Brandon?
Yeah, a pick 6, fourth quarter, that is a game-changer.
Someone read their keys, and someone had the courage to go after the ball right then and there.
And it gives them the lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Watson now to throw. Into the hands of Cooper. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now Watson. Pass complete to Chubb. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Watson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
To throw, Watson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts.
This is caught at the 20. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
So the second half comeback is now complete. They have battled from behind, taking the lead, and CD now, they just need their defense to stand up here and secure the victory.
And remember, they were trailing by double digits, fought their way back into this one. Now we find out the true definition of the team, don't we? Because one side of the ball just did its job. Now it's time for the other one to take over. Don't let them drive downfield and get the deciding score in what time remains.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Burrow. This is caught. It's Boyd. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
To throw, Burrow. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Burrow. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. It may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Burrow. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns have just about sewn